Y'all doing? Please forgive me for my tardiness. So come on in the room, come on in the room, come on in the room. And I'll just go ahead and get started with my welcome song so we can get started on this topic about gaslighting. Come on in the room, come on in the room. Jesus is my doctor and he writes out all of my prescriptions and he gives me all of my medicine in my room. Come on in the room, you guys. Let's get this topic started. I'm going to be here just a little while. Just a little while to stay. Now, whining, just a little while. All right, you guys. Hi, welcome, welcome, welcome. Come on in the room. I see you coming. I see you coming. Hi, everybody. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead on and get started. Like I said, because I won't be before you long. Hi, Andrea. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Yes, you say you here and you ready. Yes. So gaslighting. If you're like me and you had never heard that word, not in this context when it comes to relationship, then you, like me, might not even know what that means. I heard it for the very first time on Red Table Talk. Anybody in the room like Red Table Talk? I absolutely love Red Table Talk because they have some very interesting, deep, profound topics, and I just love, that they speak on these profound topics that are not touched on in normal media. Thank you for the thumbs up. So topics that I've never heard in other media. So I love listening to Red Table Talks. I love when they have people who come on and share their stories. Let us know that we are not alone. Whatever situation you are going through, you might think you're the only one in it, but you watch some of these Red Table Talks or like shows or talk to people or look at social media or read these internet stories or whatever, and you will find that you are not alone. I'm washing clothes. That sounds so loud to me. Loud washing machine. I'm about to close my door. Anyways, so you'll find that you're not alone in your situation when we think we are. So that's one of the things I love about Red Table Talk is that they talk about some deep, profound stuff, and I know that it touches people in their situations. And if this particular story is not for you, or that particular story is not for you, but you keep watching, something is going to touch you or pertain to your life. So this particular show was called Gaslighting. I never heard of gaslighting, so if you haven't, I'm just going to briefly tell you what I learned that it is. So gaslighting is when someone like psychologically makes you feel that you are inadequate, inept, that you are crazy, insane, that you're not feeling what you're feeling, that you're not hearing what you're hearing, you're not seeing what you see, you don't know what you know. And we're going to talk about how that happens in relationship. And no expert at it, but when I heard it, it just resonated with me as far as things I've experienced in my past. Hi, Lois. Lois says I'm in the blessed place. I love that you are washing clothes. That is so me. That's one of my favorite things is laundry. Well, I don't know what's wrong with this crazy washing machine. It's off balance or something. It's so loud, and I don't feel like I'm gonna have to have somebody come in and check it out. But anyways, tell me, is this loud? Tell me if it's loud, and I'll close the door. So somebody tell me that it's loud or that you all can hear me fine. So anyways, so I don't know about you, but I know I've been in a situation in a relationship where I've been in a relationship where, okay, Lois says fine. Okay, thank you. If it gets loud, somebody just tell me. Somebody just say, Deidre, shut the door. So I don't know if you've ever been in a relationship like that, but I've been in a relationship where maybe not the entire relationship was like that, because that's one thing that they had this real awesome psychologist on. I forgot her name, but she does have a podcast that I said I was going to subscribe to. I think it's Narcissist. This is the Narcissist podcast, something like that. Uh, anyways, I can't remember. I guess I should have had that information before I started. Anyways, but she was so awesome in how she broke things down, and this is how she explained the difference between just say a liar or someone who has narcissistic ways and can gaslight you. So say you're in a relationship, you're a woman, you're in a relationship, you see something that makes you feel like your boyfriend or your husband's cheating. And say you see some text message on his phone and you tell him, I know you're talking to that girl and you're texting with that girl, and he says, no, I'm not, you're just crazy, you're just you're just needy or overreactive, you're just a drama queen, whatever. And you say, no, I saw the text and I can tell you exactly what they say. As a matter of fact, look, I took a screenshot of it. So what he would do is then he would start putting the blame on you. What are you doing looking at my phone? You are just crazy. I'm so sick of this. You're always trying to act like I'm doing something. You're so insecure. And rather than they say a liar would be like, okay, I'm caught. I'm so sorry. You're right. My bad. Please forgive me. It didn't mean anything. That's what a liar is going to. Now this is per the doctor, and it makes so much sense to me that a liar is going to cop to it when you show them the proof. When you show them the proof and they're caught red-handed, they ain't gonna be like Chingy and say it wasn't me. No, they ain't gonna say it wasn't me. They're gonna be like, you right, I lied. I just didn't want you to leave me. I didn't want to hurt you, etc., etc. But the narcissist or the person who's gaslighting you is going to turn it around on you, make you feel small, make you feel little, make you feel like you're crazy, make you feel like you're insane, make you feel like it's not what you think it is. And that person might not even be intentionally trying to make you feel like that, but they're doing it, whether subconsciously or they're doing it intentionally. That's what they're doing. I think sometimes, I don't think the person always intentionally make you feel like that. I don't think they're intentionally trying to make you insane, but that's what they go to kind of as their get out of jail free card. I can remember back in the day, one of my old boyfriends, I remember he was he was outside. I was inside his house, and he was outside for a while, so I happened to look outside the window, and I'm like, well, what is he out there doing? He's fixing on someone's car. So I went out there, he's fixing on this young lady's car. And I'm just standing around like, hey, what's up? And the young lady's out there. She's out there, she's standing, and I'm looking around like, this just doesn't look right to me. This doesn't feel right. And this is what the doctor was saying, that a lot of times as the I don't want to say victim, but as the person, the woman or the man who's having those feelings, you know what you feel. Hey, Sid, how you doing? Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm pretty good, thank you. I'm pretty good. My husband and I was kind of off topic, but my husband and I were kind of. I was laughing. He wasn't laughing, but I was kind of laughing because one day my back was hurting for about 2-3 days. My back was hurting. My back was out. It's on the mend, but I could still feel a little tenderness. And then my back started feeling better. My knee started hurting. Then my husband's shoulder was hurting. And then his knee started hurting. And I just laughed and I just said, Lord, we get older. Oh, no, we get older. Lord, if it ain't his shoulder, it's my back. If it ain't my back, it's his knee. If it ain't my knee, it's his. But anyways, we good. We're good. Yes, so like you say, but God is in control. But we good over here. So, and we know, those of you all, I don't know if you all know, but a hurricane is coming, or predicted or projected to be coming this way. But we're not quite sure what's going to go on with that, because that's could be Wednesday or Thursday. We don't know how severe it's going to be. So we're also in preparations for that, in preparation here at my home and preparation at work, because as first responders, we have to be at work. I have to be at work, so I have to make sure my husband's good here, and then I have to be at work. But anyways, we're all good. But back to the topic about gaslighting. Just take a pause right here. Anybody who's listening, have you ever been gaslit or feel like you've been gaslit? Or have you been the gaslighter? And again, if you're just coming in, what I mean by gaslight, being gaslit or gaslight is when you, in defense of something, you make the other person feel small. You make the other person feel like they're crazy, they're insane, they're not seeing what they're seeing, don't believe what they know that they feel in their heart. And like I said, and usually normally it's around cheating. It's formulated around cheating, where you know what you feel like your husband or your boyfriend is cheating, or the man, you feel like your wife or your girlfriend is cheating. But when you start mentioning certain things that they're doing, or certain things that are somewhat amiss, they turn it around on you and make you feel like you're the one that's crazy. Anybody in the room ever been in that type of situation? And like I said, the story where I was, continue the story with my ex. I went outside because he was outside working on this young lady's car. That's not what I called her in my mind back in the day, but now that I'm more mature and a woman of God, I would call her young lady. He was out there working on the young lady's car, and then she started playing some blues song. I can't remember what it was, but it was kind of like a "I Got Your Man" type song. And as the song started coming into, fading, into my consciousness, I was like, wait, is she trying to tell me something? Oh, you said, okay, I'll let you know, said gaslighting me. I was like, well, is she trying to tell me something? And and then so I was like, wait, I think something's going on here. And that's when I started. But then, of course, my ex tried to make me think I was one crazy and I was the one hearing things. And fast forward a year later, they have a baby together. So, that's what I mean by hi, Shalette. That's what I mean by gaslighting. Gaslighting is whether it's intentional or unintentional, conscious or subconscious, where one person try to make the other person feel that they're not seeing what they see, they're not hearing what they actually hear, they're not feeling what they actually feel when it comes to like calling them out on something. So if I call my husband Charles out on something that I don't like or I don't see, I don't like, because maybe I get a feeling that this young lady that you're spending time with, or this young lady that you're going to lunch with, and I feel like something is off about that, and that's not right. So Charles turned it around on me and make me feel like I'm crazy and I'm being sensitive and and needy and clingy, and that I'm causing drama just because I feel some type of way about him having lunch with this young lady, instead of him saying, "Oh well, baby, sweetheart, I'm sorry, I did not make you one." Didn't make me to make you feel uncomfortable. I won't have lunch with her anymore if that makes you feel uncomfortable, because I want you to trust me. So right, so you got it. So yeah, so what I was telling him, said, I don't know if you heard this part, but where I got that term from, I was watching Red Table Talk, Jada Pinkett's Smith Red Table Talk, and they talked about that. So if you all do watch Table Talk, or if you wanna watch more on the subject, that is such a good episode to watch, because it has such major psychological implications when you are in a relationship where you have been gaslit. And because now you no longer have a voice. Everything is about that person, your mate. Everything is about making sure that they don't think you're crazy. Everything is about making sure that you don't come across as too needy. You wanted to make sure you come across as you're more confident what you really are, or that you're not a drama queen. So then you start shrinking, and then that carries over into other areas of your life. You start shrinking even at work. You start shrinking even in your creativity. You start shrinking even in your confidence at work. Diminishes your confidence in other areas of your life, start diminishing, because this person has kind of made you start to shrink and feel small, make you feel like you're crazy, that you're a drama queen, that you don't know what you're talking about, that you're seeing things, that you're being accusatory, and all of those different things. And you have to like this. This is what I already believe, but also the psychiatrist or the counselor that was on there was also saying that you have to stop that and nip that thing in the bud from the beginning. Either you got to get out of that relationship when you see that somebody doesn't value your feelings and your thoughts, or you got to call it out. Look, you're not getting ready to put that on me. You're not going to put that on me. I know what I know, and I feel what I feel, and I saw what I saw. And if you can't change things for me, then this relationship is not going to work. So now that I've explained it even more, and I don't know if I missed it or if anybody said it, but has anybody been gaslit? I'm looking over y'all comments and see if I'm missing anything. And and what happened and what the lady said that I thought was so awesome. What is done in the dark will come to light. Yep, sure will. What's done in the dark will come to light. I'm good. Amen. By stripes you are healed. Amen. Okay. One thing that I thought was very interesting and very true. See, you might have been a lighter. Hopefully you no longer the gaslighter. But yeah, but it's know thyself. So yeah, so if you were a gaslighter, hopefully not just you it, but anybody in here who was a gaslighter, anybody who's watching, stop it. Stop that. That's not a way to be, because what it is, and what this lady said, and I know it to be so true. I've said this many times in my other lives, is that the gaslighter is a person who feels small on the inside. They have to make somebody else feel small. That's the way they feel bigger, is by making someone else feel small. So in a relationship, if you have someone diminishing your light, blowing out your light, trying to convince you that you are something that you're not, then that's someone who they're doing it because that's the way they feel. Like I know a couple, they were a couple, they're no longer a couple, they haven't been a couple many years, but back in the day when they were a couple, she is absolutely gorgeous and beautiful. Gorgeous, beautiful, beautifully shaped. And he, basically no shade, was just, big person, big guy. And he would always try to make her feel like nobody else is going to want her. Nobody else but him is going to want her. That reverse psychology, yep. And he tried to make her feel and like nobody else, because she was so beautiful, so gorgeous, so smart, had a great job, making good money. It's like he had to make her feel smaller than what she was, so that he could keep her within the confines of their marriage, so he can keep her in a certain control. And that's what sometimes people will do in a relationship. I feel like, especially guys, but I'm sure girls could do that too. But it's like, don't let anybody make you feel smaller, and you got to recognize it. Yes, because he was insecure. Exactly. Hi, Lady T. It's a new subscriber, and I am a narcissist abuse victim. I was married to a convert narcissist, and I am not doing so well. His mother has a Jezebel spirit, and they had me falsely arrested. Wow. Let me see. You said I am a narcissist abuse victim. So you said I was married. Okay, so you're no longer married. Lady T, are you out of that situation now? I hope you are. I hope I'm reading that correctly, that that's in the past and that you're out of that relationship. But yes, yes, good, excellent. I'm so glad to know that you made it out, because a lot of people don't. A lot of people have to stay in it forever, because sometimes they're just beholden to that person because they feel like they can't do any better. That person that made them feel like they can't do any better. That person intentionally tried to make them feel like they can't do any better, or that nobody else is going to want them. Um, and so they do certain things to keep you in a certain situation and to keep you feeling like less than. And so a lot of people stay, and so I'm glad that you um, are out and out safely. But since say those were your unholy days, I was the one that would have been playing the blessed song while your boyfriend were working on my car. That used to be me. Thank God for grace and mercy. uh, but Aaron's in here. I didn't see Aaron come in. Oh, it says boom. Look who walked in the room. I missed Aaron. Oh, hey, Aaron, welcome. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Good to see you, Aaron. Welcome back. Yes, but that's that controlling spirit. Hey, man. Welcome, welcome, welcome. But yes, that controlling spirit. But listen, do not allow anyone to like I said, to dim your light, or to make you feel less than, or make you feel take away your confidence, or further, or you might even start out with kind of low self-esteem, and they latch onto that, and they know you got low self-esteem, so they try to make your self-esteem even lower. One thing that they said on the show, those of you who are just coming in, I was talking about how I was watching Red Table Talk, and that was one of the topics that they were talking about, gaslighting. I never heard the word before, gaslighting, except for lighting some gas. But I never heard about gaslighting in relationship, or as a psychological term. But it's when a person, especially in a relationship, but it can be any kind of relationship, because they had different examples. It could be in a girlfriend relationship. It could be in friend girls. It could be your boss could be a gaslighter. It could be your girlfriend who's a gaslighter. It could be intimate relationships. So it's all kinds of relationship where people take advantage of other people's psychological mindset, for control. It's for control. It's to belittle. And gaslighting is different from someone being a liar. It's when somebody tries to control you or demean you psychologically by turning everything on you, making you feel like you are the one who are causing the problem. Like I say, you feel like, if I feel like my husband is cheating on me, but he turns it around on me and make me feel like I'm crazy, I'm being a drama queen, I'm being too suspicious. It's me, it's me, it's me. And then a lot of times in these relationships, you find out half, 6 months later, a year later, 5 years later, that it wasn't you, because they had a lady on. Say, I want you to know. I want to know, my God allowed this. I never heard it until tonight. Okay. So you just want to know why God allowed this. I don't profess to know why God do certain things, because sometimes I'm befuddled as to why God do certain things. But I am a true believer that all things work together for good to them that love the Lord and are called. So I believe that a lot of times God allow things to happen to us so that we can use those things. We can help other people. Sometimes things happen to you and for you so that it can be a help to other people, that you can use your voice. If nobody knows how to help another person who's under a narcissist than somebody who's been under the thumb of a narcissist. So you can use that. You can use that, hey, just peeking in, Sent got me locked in her basement, and I like it. I have to be at work at 4 a.m. Gotta get to bed. All right, see ya. Send me a text if you need rescuing. If you need me to come rescue you from the basement. Thanks for stopping in, Aaron. Okay, but listen, you guys, don't let anybody do that to you. And what happens is, he wants to get our attention. I would not open the door. Okay. Let me see. Sometimes purge something that is bitter root in us, and to make us aware when we are going a direction that pulls us away from Him. Yes, I like that answer. Because that's very true. Sometimes, you just never know. There's so many different reasons why God allows certain things, but I always look for the good of why He allows certain things. Like I say, He allows certain things so that because he know we're going a direction that he doesn't intend for us to go. That's not within our purpose, and so he allows certain things to turn us toward a different way, towards our purpose. So excellent answer, Whitney. We never know. I always say use it for good to tell other people, to teach other people, to help other people. But another thing that one of the psychiatrists said, oh, I said she was a psychiatrist, I don't know, what she, counselor or whatever, she said was that when you have been under someone's thumb of a narcissist or someone who's gaslit you, she tried to encourage you not to have a relationship. Dangerous to the kingdom of the enemy. Yes, yes. She encourages you to like stay out of relationships for a while. Get to know you. Get to know your own voice. Get to know why you allowed this. Because what happens is, nobody stays in a relationship where pretty much nobody where it's all bad 100% of the time. But what we do is the person is they're going to give you some good, and then they're going to then start making you feel little. They're going to kind of raise your self-esteem a little bit, then they're going to make you start feeling little again. And if that pattern continues to happen, no, you got to get out of that. You got to get out of that, because when it becomes a pattern, then it's not a mistake. We could all make mistakes, misspeak, get a little too close to somebody that we shouldn't be getting close to. We could all make mistakes. But no, when it's a continuous pattern, you got to get out of that situation when it's a continuous pattern. And another thing, this is for my ladies. Sometimes we go through things because of the decisions we make and the people we choose. Exactly, Andrea. That's exactly true. A lot of things that God did not intend for us to go through. A lot of things that He's not the one who put us through. A lot of times it's the choices we make and the people that we choose to be around, and we kind of make our own bed. So that a lot of times that's what happened. A lot of times, and that still small voice is telling us sometimes he's not the one, she's not the one, but we just push past that still small voice a lot of times. So in all thy ways acknowledge Him, and He will direct our path. But if we've already done it, already are suffering the consequences of it, use it. Use it for the good. Use it for good. But this is another thing that the lady said that I absolutely love. And she said that a lot of times we stay in these relationships because we feel like having a relationship is validation. And we don't have to be in a relationship. We do not have to be in a relationship. And I know sometimes it's easier said from a person who is in a relationship. But believe me, I was not in a relationship for 13 years. And I was not going to just be in a relationship just because. I didn't want. What? Wait, now I'm seeing something about some whipped cream over here. Was it saying, what did you do? Y'all better stop. Y'all ain't right. Y'all better stop. But anyways, but speaking of whipped cream and relationship, as I was saying, is that a lot of times we take a lot of these things, poor behavior, continuous poor behavior, because we do not want to, we want to be in a relationship, and we think there's something wrong with us not being in a relationship. And there is nothing, I always tell people there's absolutely nothing wrong with wanting to be in a relationship. God intended for us to be in a relationship. However, there is absolutely nothing wrong not being in an intimate or married relationship also. There is absolutely nothing wrong with that, and there's nothing wrong with you. And don't feel that you have to be. Yeah, I mean, a lot of times we fellow Christians don't want to take responsibility for the choices and the actions that we take. It's biblical spiritual law that you can have what you say yep or do. Yep, exactly. Um, God is with you, Lady T. Don't give up. He loves you so much, and He has the best for you. Awesome. Yes, Andrea. Yes, that's the thing. Don't give up. We make mistakes. We fall down. Hey, get back up and let God order your steps. Your ladder shall be greater. Yes. So anyways, Just an encouragement, ladies, uh, and our gentlemen and the gentlemen in the house. But just an encouragement that you don't have to um, relegate yourself to poor behavior, someone not treating you well just because you want a relationship. Wait, I say, on the Lord. And to go along with what you are saying, validation is something I had to battle with when I came to dating. When it came to dating, I just learned that being set aside is a gift. Yes, it's tough, but the promise is coming. Yes, for those who desire the relationship or marriage. Yes, just God, just ask God to forgive me and try not to repeat what I said. Okay, exactly. I love what you said, Whitney, about being set aside, because this is one thing that I had to realize when I was single. When I was single, I would see everybody. I mean, I'm the oldest daughter. My two younger sisters had gotten married, had been married for years and years and years. Like they married, like I don't know, like 10, 15 years before me. And so my younger sisters were married. My friends, were married. So many different people. I saw people just was married, and I'm like, what is going on? Why am I not married? I knew people that were married 2 or 3 times who were my age. I'm like, she's on her third husband, Lord. I'm 35, I'm 30, I'm 32, I'm 34, I'm 35, I'm 36, 37, 38. I'm like, she's on her third husband. What's wrong with me? And Whitney, just what you said. Holy Spirit had to let me know that I was set aside. And I'm like, set aside for what? What if I don't want to be set aside? But that's what Holy Spirit had to comfort me to let me know that I was set aside. And when I realized that, and I didn't quite know yet for what, set aside for what, but now I can tell you in hindsight, I was set aside so that I can be a living testimony and witness to that you can be abstinent. You can be abstinent as I was for 13 years. You can, if you delight yourself in the Lord, He will give you the desires of your heart. I can testify to that. So I had to go through my test so that I could have a testimony. Everybody's test and everybody's testimony is not going to be the same. My test was that I was 38 when I got married. My test was I was abstinent for 13 years. My test was that it wasn't easy. There were times I cried. But that was my test. But that's what God set me aside for. So there's nothing wrong with being set aside. Let me see. Let me read. So yes, that is what I battle with. But when I realized that I was such a precious treasure to Him, and that He didn't want anyone to have me in His possession, He has to meet the standards of Boaz before. Yes, yes. Hi, Krista. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, welcome. I can meet my future husband that I was made for. Exactly, exactly. And it's going to happen. It's going to happen. The only thing is, it's the wait. The wait. I'm gonna have to do something. I'm gonna have to do a special video and invite my single ladies in who are waiting. Maybe I'll do a Zoom. But I'm gonna have to do those who want to be married, because I know everybody don't want to be married, but those who want to be married and those who are waiting on God. I'm not talking about the ones who want to be married and they're out there, doing their own thing, but the ones who are waiting on God. I'm not saying you're perfect, just saying you're waiting on God. I'm gonna have to do like a special Zoom or something, and so we can talk about the wait, because sometimes that wait is difficult, but it is worth it. Let God order everything. Let Him order your steps. So this is a mine to Andrea. I got married early at age 19, but now divorced and want to get married again. But I am waiting on God. Exactly, exactly. Um, so so yeah. So when someone special come into your life, and you find that this person is not uplifting to you, and not and doesn't to accept responsibility for their what you when you call them on something, or you see something that makes you feel uncomfortable, or you see something that you don't like and you call them on it, and they don't accept full responsibility, or let's say let's talk about it, let's discuss this. They're trying to make you feel like you are crazy, trying to make you feel like you're the drama queen, trying to make you feel like that you are not seeing what you're seeing or not feeling what you're feeling. Then that's gaslighting, and that's some psychological stuff that you don't want to be a part of, and that you don't want to continue forward in a relationship with somebody like that who's not taking into account your feelings. This one lady that was on the show, on the Red Table Talk show, she was saying how her husband, she saw something that made her think that her husband was possibly cheating, and she said she called him on it, and he made her feel like she was the one that was crazy. And then when she tried to ask him like, who is it, he told her something about like you're asking too much, like put up roadblocks, wouldn't even tell her who it is that he's talking to or messing around with. And she said, and then eventually she said her daughter said something to the effect, yeah, when daddy was talking to Miss So and so. And she said, and that's when she realized that he is messing around with this person who was her daughter's babysitter, who had been in their home, had been a friend of theirs for 10 years. And she said, and now to this day, she divorced him, they divorced, and he's married to that same woman that he tried to make her feel like she was crazy for thinking that something was going on with them. So a lot of times that happens. They make you think you're the one that's crazy, and then we start internalizing, and then we start making excuses. We start making excuses for them, and all kinds of things like that. And then our self esteem plummet, even in areas of at work and in other facets of our life. And then we start losing ourselves and even knowing who we are. And it's just like dominoes, this domino effect. And then our life just spirals kind of out of control. It's not even our own. So I just wanted to share that with you because I thought that was just such a great episode. I can't even begin to touch on it the way it was actually presented. So I know some people don't really care for Jada and don't really care, to watch. But I like, the Red Table Talk, and I love the Red Table Talk. And so if you get a chance to watch Red Table Talk, watch Gaslighting. It's a really, really great episode. I'm gonna tell you. Let me see what y'all saying over here. You said you've been there, Crystal. Yeah, and said, Kristen, you say you've been there, and anybody who's been there, you start to really like. It's amazing what stuff psychologically can go on in your brain. It's amazing the like how they really make you start thinking, "Am I crazy?" Like one night, okay, this is going back in the day to the boyfriend, same boyfriend I'm talking about. Some girl called me. Don't know where to this day how she get my number. To this day, now y'all, this happened maybe 30. My daughter's 35, so this had to happen maybe 34, 33 years ago. But it's amazing how that stuff gets in your brain, your psyche, and you remember. To this day, I don't know quite what happened or how you even put this together, but some girl called me. I'm in a relationship with this guy, and this girl called me, and she's talking all this stuff about how her and my man, she's messing with my man and things they do and this, and I'm just listening to her, and she's telling me this, and I'm like, who is this, and how you get my number? And she's like, don't worry about how I got your number and this. Yeah, so eventually we hung. To this day, I don't know who this girl was. Of course, he's not gonna tell me who she was. He's not gonna cop to what he did wrong. But after years time passed, I start wondering, did the phone call even happen? I start questioning my own sanity. That's what I'm telling you. This stuff is real. This stuff happens. That's why I tell you too. I share my testimony. That's why I'm talking about Lady T. I was. Sometimes things happen in our lives, and it's for us to share, and it's for us to help each other out. And so that's why I'm so passionate about, ladies, don't let anybody get into your mind like that. Don't let anybody get into your brain like that. Don't let anybody change your narrative of who you know you are. Don't let anybody change that you are daughters of Zion, that you are fearfully and wonderfully made, that you are resilient, you're strong, you're smart, you're loving, you're kind. Don't let anybody get into your psyche and make you think that otherwise, because it can happen. Somebody can get into your psyche and make, like I said, I've always had really good self esteem, but there was this small narrow portion of time in my life that I started to doubt myself, and I didn't like my look, because I not too long ago had a baby, and I was always an athlete. I was always nicely built, and I never and then I didn't like how I was looking. I didn't like the weight I had gained. I didn't, I'm like, I got a baby that I didn't tend to have, and and so I had to really, really concentrate on rebuilding my self esteem. So it's amazing how the mind can change, or how someone can get into your psyche and change your mind. And so I'm so passionate about, because so many of us as women, either we never had good self esteem, or we had good self esteem, and then the weight of relationships and social media and other things has diminished our self esteem. And I really, really, really am passionate about women having good, healthy self esteem, because so much is predicated on that. How we deal in the world, how we deal with relationships, how we deal with other women, even how we treat each other, how women treat each other. A lot of times it's predicated on self esteem. Because when you have low self esteem, you try to bring other people's down. That's why we have these keyboard terrorists. That's why, y'all know, this is kind of off topic. Well, it's part of the topic, but kind of a little off topic. But I can't remember who it was. I can't remember who it was. It might have been, anyway. It was a black lady. She was a celebrity, and she had gotten married. And she was just sharing like her wedding picture, and I saw some of the meanest, nastiest comments in their mind, she's unattractive, but her mate was attractive, and which to me, she's absolutely beautiful, but she's very dark skinned, maybe not the traditional beauty. And I'm looking at these comments, and I'm like, Deidre, leave the comments, because you're getting upset. Your heart is heavy, because people are so nasty and crazy. But the worst part of it is, I know the people that left those messages, they're hurting. They are hurting, because only hurt people try to hurt other people. Only people who feel little try to belittle other people. So many things are predicated on us having good, healthy self-esteem, loving the Lord, loving ourselves, and spreading that out, to others. Let's see. Because of gifting God, because of the gifting God placed in us to be examples of those seeking their true identity in Christ. So you are so right. Yes. What's operating in them that do that? Yep. Exactly. 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 And that's why I'm just so passionate about um, us having really good self-esteem, but self-esteem predicated on the foundation of Jesus Christ. Because I just feel like without the foundation of Jesus Christ, all of the self esteem is really just fake self esteem. Because there's that void that only He can feel. There's that void that only the Holy Spirit can feel. And then self esteem spreads from that, comes out of that. You got to know who you are and whose you are. So let me get off that because like I said, I could go on and deep into that because I know y'all heard me say use the saying your slip is showing. So I know that when people are mean and hateful and belittling to others, their slip is showing. It's they are hurting. There's some deep seated something going on with them, for them to do that. And when you're in a relationship and someone is treating you so horribly or trying to, maybe not always, they're not gonna treat you horrible all the time because you surely be gone them, but they're gonna treat you pretty good, and then they're going to do little things to treat you horribly or say little things to you and then make it seem like you're the one that's crazy for thinking that they're treating you that way. No, you're not crazy. If you feel disrespected, you were disrespected. If you feel unloved, then you're unloved. If you feel uncared for, you are uncared for. Go with how you're feeling, ladies. Go with the feeling. Don't let anybody tell you how you're feeling. You know how you're feeling. You have a Naomi spirit, Miss Deep. Thank you. That passion and gifting you have is something someone needs right now. Thank you. That is beautiful. Thank you. Thank you so much, Whitney. And that is so encouraging too. So encouraging to me because, like I said, I always want to add value. And although I love coming to talk to you all, and I love that you are here, but I don't want this just to be just a just a good time. Just a hi, how y'all doing? I want it to be valuable. I want it to be valuable to your spirit and to your soul, but most of all, that I point you to Christ Jesus. Let's see. All orchestrated and ordained by Christ. Keep doing what you are doing, Miss D. What you are saying is how my ex best friend treated me in our friendship. She has a problem with abandonment and blame me for trying to take care of my mental health when I could help her at times. Yes, and this is what I love too about that Red Table Talk. They gave examples of this is not just in an intimate relationship. So you want to pay attention to this in all areas of your life. If you have family or friends who's gaslighting you, meaning your friends making you feel like you're the one with the issue. So just say if you told your friend, I'm going to, if you told your friend, look, I got to take care of my mental health. I'm going to be kind of in hibernation for a while. I'm going to be, in prayer. I'm seeking God for some things. I'm doing it. And then your friend try to make you feel like you're the one that's crazy because you're wanting to seek God, because you want to hibernate, because you want to take care of your mental issues. And they trying to turn it around like you're dramatic, you're overreacting, you're doing this. Then that's gaslighting, and you have to pay attention to that. And I'm not saying cut off your relationship, but you have to be mindful of how to handle that relationship. If your relationships are not uplifting you or not adding energy to you, then and it's draining, or somebody's being condescending to you or not respecting that you need to take care of yourself, then that's not the friend to have. So I'm glad that you chose your mental health over a relationship. Yeah, and that's what I figured you meant, Whitney, when you couldn't help her at times. Yeah, exactly. That's what she did. She hated that I. Oops. Oh, she hated that I couldn't be what she wanted me to be. You're right. I was so glad that she was the one who ended the friendship. God didn't want me to be treated like that way. So I praised him for saving me from that long and manipulating relationship. That is excellent, excellent, Whitney. Because, and you made such a good point when you said you were glad when she ended the relationship. Because one thing we have to realize sometimes when people in relationship with us, you have to sometimes realize that that's God allowing, because He knows you're not going to end it. So sometimes that's God allowing, things to happen for our good. I say I have lost a lot of people in my life because of me learning to say no. Now I'm not afraid to say no, and it don't bother me. Yes, said. That's excellent because I guarantee you, said you just seem like the person who probably at one time always said yes, always said yes, always said yes, and people get used to that and accustomed to that, and they expect that to always be yes, yes, yes. And then when you learn your no, and you learn your worth, and you learn your value, then you learn that my time is valuable, my money is valuable, my energy is valuable, and my love is valuable, and so you start realizing your value and the worth, and then now those people who were only there for the yes, they start they start leaving, they start pulling away, they, and that's okay. You want the ones who are only there for the yes to go ahead. Yep, yep. You want the ones who are that only in your life for the yes. You want God to go ahead and pull and let them leave. Yes, I came right on time. No distractions from him. Where she was, yes, yes. And God is a jealous God. He don't want he knows that of course we do other things. We work, we play, we have fun. We do YouTube. He understands we do other things. But if somebody is taking that valuable place that's only for him, that we make time for him, then and taking away your mental, because sometimes it's hard to be one with the Lord, or pray when your mental is out of whack. So if somebody's making your mental kind of out of whack, then God may remove that. I'm sitting here uh, taking this all in comments, and I needed this today. Awesome, awesome, Krista. Awesome. I'm so glad when we can offer, me and all the blessed ones, we can offer each other something that resonates, something that blesses all of us, because it helps for all of us to have each other. And sometimes we're going through life and we don't realize that either we're being manipulated, or we're being played, or we don't realize that a relationship is not good for us, because we're so used to, we get used to a situation. We get used to, if mama always treated me like this, then that's all I'm used to. If I've only seen men gaslight in my mom's relationship, and that's all I'm used to, and that's all I've had in my relationship, I tend to think that that's normal. But when you start realizing and waking up to, oh, that's not normal, um, and that's helpful. That's a blessing. So, ladies, know your voice, know your worth, know what you like, know what you like to do, know your yes and your no. Know when you don't want to do something, and don't do it. Don't know when you want to do something, and do it. It's like, don't and when you see something and you know it, then you stick to your gut. No, that was a condescending remark, and you meant that way. No, and people love to say, "I was just kidding." No, no. Yeah, sometimes we play and we kid with each other, but don't let someone continue to be condescending to you and then tell you they were just kidding. Nah, they weren't just kidding. When it happens over and over, they weren't just kidding. So I love seasons when Christ releases that much needed revelations. Yes. So you're welcome. We all have been through these different situations, but for the grace of God being with us. Yes, yes. And that's why I like to share my situations, because I want you all to know that I've been through a lot of these things. A lot of these things. I'm not saying I've been through every single thing I could think of, but a lot of these topics that I talk about, I have been through them. Um, so yeah, exactly. If they thought to say it, they meant it. Yep, yep, Whitney. And people will use that a lot as they're just kidding. That's right. Yes, 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 yes. And your no be your no. I feel like if I didn't mean it, you wouldn't have said it. Yes. And I tell you now, my daughter doesn't. She's not a gaslighter or anything like that. But just talking about the I'm just kidding. So I would like over time. This is ever since my daughter was younger. 18, whatever. And say I would ask her to do something, and she would always like make a little like she'd be like I said, Derek, you bring me some water, and she'd get it. Or I said, Derek, and I'm talking about this is an adult. Now, not when she was a child. When she was a child, she knew I didn't play that. But as an adult, she would be like, she would always like, or I would say, Derek, are you? She'd always like make a little sound, and then she's like, I'm just kidding. I'm just. So one day I told her, this was a while ago, few years ago, and I said, Derica, I said, and when I say years, she's 35, so this was maybe 5 years ago. 5, 6 years ago. She was about 28, 29, something like that when I told her. And I said, well, first of all, dang, y'all, my baby 35? OMG, what did it make me? Anyways, so I said, Derica, I said, whenever you ask me for anything, when you ask me to do anything, let you borrow money or anything, run an errand for you or anything. Because every time she's been out of the country, she's lived in Thailand, she's lived in Mexico, she's lived in Puerto Rico, she's lived in, so she's gone, travel in basketball or just travel. And so sometimes she would ask me a lot of times she would ask me to take care of her business. Mom, will you go to the place and get a money order? Go to the bank, take the money out of the bank, go get a money order, pay this, do that. I was her virtual assistant and her errand girl. And I would be like, Derica, anything you ever ask me to do, I do it. I never give it a second thought, make you feel bad about it. Anything you ask me to do, I do it. And I said, whenever I ask you to do something, you do it. You do anything I ask you to do, but you always got you're exasperated or something or a sound or you need me to do that, or do you need that right now? And I was like, and then you'd be like, I'm just kidding. I said, it's not kidding when you continue to do it. It's not funny, and it's not kidding. Kidding is once or twice. When you do it all the time. And she was like, I didn't know. I didn't realize I did that. I was like, yes, you do. Every single time I ask you to do something. We just had that one conversation, and it's funny how we had this conversation maybe 6 months ago or so. And she was like, Mama, remember you told me that? And she's like, I've never done that again, have I? I was like, no, you haven't. I said, I told you that one time, and you haven't done that again. So that was just a matter of conversation. But that's when you know that person is not a gaslighter. That person is not trying to be condescending or dismissive of you, because when a person loves you, they take consideration of what hurts you, what bothers you, and they not only take consideration, but they change that behavior that you don't like. And that's one thing that we want to remember in our relationship. Yes, we may do things that hurt each other. We may do things that we don't know. I don't know that I've hurt you. You didn't know that you hurt me. But that's where good communication, we talked about communication many times on our lives. That's where good communication comes into play. But once you've communicated that to each other, or to the person, to the offending person, then that offending person in love should change that behavior. And if they don't change that behavior and they continue that behavior, don't continue in fellowship with that person. And I always make a distinction between fellowship and relationship. There is nothing we can do to get out of relationship with God, but we definitely can get out of fellowship with God. So I'm going to be his child. I'm going to be God's child forever and ever and ever. But I can be out of fellowship by not talking to him, by not praying, by not reading my word, by mistreating people, by not being forgiving. So your mama go always be your mama. Your cousin go always be your cousin. Your child go always be your child. Your ex might be an ex, but you don't have to be in fellowship with people who are continuously hurting you and don't try to change the behavior. So I wanted to give that example of being Derica to say that that's the correct way to handle. Um, that's the correct way of changing behavior that offends. So let me just read. Let me read this. It says, I'm my mother's tech support, bill payer, and anything she needs, even for my father. So I definitely know where you're coming from, Miss D. I can't help but honor my parents when they are being honorable. So I am glad little D learned how to even honor her mother even more. I can relate to her. I can relate to her greatly. Oh, love that. Yes, and I think my daughter, number one, not rationalizing or making excuses for her, but that's her dad's behavior. That's 100% her dad's behavior. Everybody who knows him, my family, he's still good friends with my mom, my family, and he will do anything for them. But he's going to fuss first. He's gonna, Miss Hillary, why don't you do? Why is this air conditioner going out? Did you change the filter, Miss Hillary? Deborah, why is this? If I ask him to do something right now, he'll come do it. So why is it he's gonna? So she has her dad's demeanor and behavior in certain ways. So anytime I ask her to do something, she has to be fussy like her dad. And I'm like, I don't care nothing about them jeans. I don't care what you inherited from your daddy. I don't care nothing about the fact that you act like him in some ways. Do I do that to you when you ask me to do stuff? So sometimes we, like I say, those things that offend us, we gotta speak up. And I know a lot of times as women we don't speak up. We shrink, we shirk, and we have to be bold, confident, speak up. There's a loving way that you can communicate things. You don't have to scream, yell, curse, fuss, fight, argue. There's a way that you can communicate in love. And if the recipient does not change their behavior, then they don't deserve to be in your space. So that's all I got for tonight. We're going to keep it at close to an hour. And that's all I wanted to share with you guys, with you ladies. And I wanted to encourage some hearts out there. And says, yep, my dad does that. He can be narcissistic and can complain to do for others, but not if something has to be done for him. I've learned to manage that and still. That's awesome. That's awesome. Like you said, you learn to manage it, and still honor him. That's awesome. Yes, honor your mother and your father. Don't say how old your parents got to be. Don't say what kind of mother and father. It says honor your mothers and fathers so your days may be long. And so, no matter what, honor your mother and your father, you guys. Like I say, you don't have to be in constant fellowship if they're narcissistic or not talking about you, Whitney. But I'm just saying you don't have to be if they're not honoring you. You don't have to be in constant fellowship. But I still say, to me, parents get a pass. No matter how they act, you still check on them, you still love them, and you still help them. That's just me. I would think parents get a pass for their ways. Let me see what Miss Andrea said. Soft answer turns away wrath. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Yes. Okay, you guys. Anything else? Anything anybody want to say? Comments or anything before we go? Well, you are an awesome mother, Miss D. Thank you. Yes. Yes. My daughter, she gives me a pass because I'm sure I can kind of get on her nerves at times, but she gives me a pass. And speaking of too, upon the land which the Lord that God giveth thee. Sorry, I had to finish. Hey, that's all right. Finish that. Yep, finish that verse. Let me see. Oh, I was saying, speaking of, matter of fact, I'm going to see my daughter. Me and my sisters going this weekend. Yeah, this weekend. So maybe I'll get a little footage while I'm gone. But going to see my daughter. We're going to a baby shower. And then my sister's coming along to hang out with me. We're going to be making it a girls trip. So I'm looking forward to that. So therefore, I cannot promise that there will be a live next Monday. I can't promise you, but I will send out something, a video or a message or something letting you all know whether or not. Hi, Marissa. Hi, welcome. But we're getting ready to say bye, but hope you get to watch the replay. How awesome is that? You are always going to a baby shower, Miss D. I know. I was just at one yesterday. I am going to hang out with you all one day. Yes, yes, Sid, do that. Um, yes, I'm always going to something, baby shower or something. Oh, no problem, no problem. Um, Hope you get to make the next one 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But I always leave the replay on, so hope you get to watch the replay. But thanks for stopping by to visit us, and hopefully you'll come. We have a good time. Hope you come hang out with us next time. Like I said, I can't say for sure I'll be here next Monday. I might, but I know my weekend is just full, 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 and I got to see what's going on with this hurricane, and I got to see what's going on with this hurricane and how that's going to affect me at work, and if I'm gonna have to stay at work Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I hope not, but I might have to stay at work Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then get on the road Friday. Okay, you guys, I love y'all so much. Oh, I'm on here unwrapping some. um, Thank you all for coming. Thank you all for hanging out with me. I love you all and I appreciate you guys. And you all are so awesome and so smart and so strong and so resilient and so loving. Be safe. Thank you. Thank you. Y'all keep me in prayer. Oh, I love Reese's. My favorite. Reese's and Snickers. But the only two candies I eat. It's about the only candy I eat. Is Reese's and Snickers. Alrighty. Mwah. Love y'all. Y'all be blessed. Yours too. Bye.